Hey guys, what is it about retro PC gaming that makes this hobby so interesting? I guess the answer is different for everyone. For me, it's mostly about using and experiencing legendary high-end computer parts such as motherboards, processors and video cards from back in the day that cost an absolute fortune. I would obsess over hardware reviews on Tom's Hardware or Anantech, but my actual gaming PC was usually made up of budget parts, a lot cheaper, but also with excellent value. For this video, just imagine it's around Christmas of 2002, money isn't an issue and we're going to build a 2002 Dream PC. This is the final and ultimate RAMBUS configuration that you can put together. In this video we will go over the parts, there are a few benchmarks and a lot of gameplay footage this time. This is the processor for our build. It's a Pentium 4 running at 3.06 GHz with a 533 MHz frontset bus and hyperthreading. Now I vividly remember reading about hyperthreading and how it can boost multi-threaded applications. Here we have Cinebench 2003 running side by side with hyperthreading on and off, and we can see it makes a real difference. With hyperthreading it finishes in 73.4 seconds. With hyperthreading turned off it takes 87.6 seconds, and those were also the days of ripping DVDs and encoding them with DivX or XVID, and any extra speed was greatly appreciated. The processor has a TDP of around 80 watts, so we need a decent cooler, and nothing beats the Salman coolers from back in the day. This is roughly a kilo or 2 pounds of pure copper goodness, one of the best coolers you can get for the Socket 478. The Pentium 4 3.06 is also the fastest processor that we can use with our RAMBUS motherboard. Love or hate RAMBUS, it was always something I wanted to have, but it was a premium platform and something I would only dream about, but never owned until now. Now finding a Pentium 4 motherboard that takes RDRAM isn't too difficult, and we've been using such a motherboard in previous videos on the channel. But finding one of the final revisions that ticks all the boxes, which means we need an Intel 850E chipset, we need support for the 533 MHz FSB Pentium 4s, we need support for hyperthreading, and we need support for the faster PC 1066 memory. Well, not much has changed, such motherboards are still commanding a premium. A friend of mine, thank you Scratch, he mentioned the Dell Dimension 8250 system. That was the final RAMBUS system before Dell moved on to DDR memory. And here we have such a motherboard. I got this from the UK and it cost a fraction of what a similar motherboard would cost if you look for a brand like Asus on eBay. And we need some memory. We have two modules from Samsung. These are RDRAM modules rated at 1066. Two 512 sticks, so that's a total of 1 GB, which is roughly twice the capacity of similar review systems from 2002. So plenty of RAM for our machine and also nice and fast. And lastly, we need a decent video card. Launched at the end of 2002, it has to be the Radeon 9700 Pro. This card is iconic. Not only did it introduce DirectX 9, it outperformed anything from Nvidia. It can handle period correct games with the highest details and settings, but it is also fast enough to run upcoming games well into the future. We do have a few benchmarks today. First up we got 3D Mark 2001 SE and 2003. Here we have the Radeon 9700 Pro, but I also benchmarked a Radeon 9600 Pro in the same system. In 2001 there's a small difference as we're limited by the processor despite the high 3 GHz clock speed, but in 2003 we can see that the 9700 Pro is almost twice as fast. And here we have Far Cry with medium details across resolutions going from 640 by 480 to 1280 by 1024, and we can see that the 9700 Pro is CPU limited up to 1280 by 1024, whereas the 9600 Pro loses performance even at 800 by 600. And now we're going to check out some gameplay. We've got old and new, so we can see how the system performed back in the day, but also how it performed with newer titles. I will put the game title and some other information on the screen for each title.
2 frags left.
Yes. Ah, there you are.
Tiger. You are to locate terrorist command and control, eliminate hostiles, search for intel documents, and move to rally point for exfil. Out.
At the pier on the far side of the island. It's important I don't compromise my cover, so you'll have to secure the area first.
Right.
You see that?
The mercs sometimes use hang gliders to get around the islands. You do...
Hey, you're that new guy headed for the old comm center, right? You'd better hustle up, pal. This passage doesn't go all the way there. Let's walk outside to the center's airlock. Hey, don't sweat it. This shit's got plenty of oxygen.
So let's summarize what we've seen and I'll tell you what I think. I guess this one is ticked off my bucket list. It's impressive what this machine can do. Powerful enough to play all the games from 2002 and beyond, running Far Cry and Doom 3 from 2004 quite comfortably. The Dell Dimension 8250 motherboard, it worked fantastic. It's well built, has Japanese caps, and the entire system was rock solid, not a single crash or issue. The board, however, is proprietary, so it won't fit into a standard case, and it's got proprietary front panel connectors, but it does use a standard ATX power supply, and then it costs only a fraction of what an equivalent motherboard sells for on eBay. Now, although the performance is pretty decent, when using the system I couldn't help myself but feeling a little bit disappointed. Aspects such as responsiveness or the loading times, they weren't that great, and I also feel that the Radeon 9700 Pro is being held back and needs a faster processor to show its full potential. So I'm thinking of doing a video of comparing the usefulness of building a period correct retro PC against a time machine. This is what I call a mix of old and new, keeping the key components period correct for maximum compatibility and authenticity, but upgrading other aspects to give an overall improved experience. And that's pretty much it for this video. Let me know what you think about this project, the final RAMBUS system, so to speak. Leave them down below in the comments. And if you found this video interesting and you want to see more stuff like it, please subscribe if you haven't done so already. Click on that notification bell so you're getting all the updates. Give it a like, and I shall see you soon with another one.